What's up, family? Man, this is going to get kind of deep. It's going to get kind of deep, man. But it is what it is, and it's going to be what it's going to be. Man, stay with me. We're going to go somewhere in this one. God help me. It's a trip because we have to grow up. We have to grow up. You guys hear me say that all the time. We have to humble ourselves and stop acting like we know everything. Stop acting like we have all the information. I put out a video earlier this week or last week talking about the poem, Roll, Roll, Roll Your Boat Gently Down the Stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. And I broke down what that poem represented. God help me. It's a trip because when you look at that poem and you look at the classical book or the classical movie, The Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum, that came out in the 1900s. The book came out in 1900. The movie came out, I want to say 1939. When you look at the classic the literary giant, the classic Moby Dick, written by Herman Melville, I believe in 1899. We've all read these books. We've heard of these books. We've watched movies about these things. We've recited that poem, Roll, Roll, Roll Your Boat, since we were kids. We know these things. We know about these three different things right here. We're going somewhere. Stay with me. We know about Moby Dick. We know about the Wizard of Oz. We know about Roll, Roll, Roll Your Boat gently down the stream. I would dare say the great majority of us, 99.5, 99.9% of us, have no idea where those stories came from, have no idea what influenced those stories, have no idea where that poem came from. And what I mean where it came from, what it represents. Yeah, I know you understand, man, because I broke the poem down the other day, but we don't understand. The great majority of you have no idea that all three stories, the poem, the two stories, the movies, all that associated with Wizard of Oz, Moby Dick, and so many other classics were influenced by Freemasons. Influenced by Freemasons. So many of us, we have our idea of what Masonry is, what Freemasons are, and we think they're the Illuminati, we think they run the world, and whoop, 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 and they're these bad people. We have no idea that Freemasonry goes all the way back to ancient Egypt. All the way back to ancient Egypt. The trip is with Freemasons, the purpose of Freemasons is they learn. Stay with me. They learn how to reach their full potential. They learn about life, real life, not the stupid, superficial bullshit that we think, that many of you think. When you look at Solomon, and Solomon plays a big part in Freemasonry, Solomon in the Bible, in the building of the temple. At the time, it was the largest, most expensive building never constructed. But what you don't understand, because Masonry has so many secrets, and Freemasons have so many secrets. And it's not that they have secrets, it's just that they've learned things that the average person hasn't learned. They've studied things in depth the average person haven't done. just like a doctor. A doctor knows things that the average person don't know. Why? Because they went to school to study this stuff. An architect, he knows things that the average person don't know. Why? Because he's gone to school to study certain things. What does that got to do with Freemasonry? Freemasons, we study who we are. We know who we are. Stay with me. Let me back up for a second. This is going to get deep. Stay with me. I promise you. We're going to go somewhere. It's going to be profound. We have to first understand. Everybody associated with Freemasonry ain't a good person. I get that. Everybody go to church ain't a good person. Everybody that go to church ain't there for the right reasons. Everybody go to church ain't there to praise the Lord, talk to Jesus, God. You know what I mean? Everybody go to church. People go to church for different reasons. Some people go to church because they want to hook up with somebody. Some people go to church because they're looking for connection, business connection, job opportunity. Some people go to church because they're looking for a husband. Some go because they're looking for a wife. Some go because they're looking at, man, I want to get up on stage. I want people to know that I could sing and I could dance. I want to be on a dance team. I want to be on a praise team and da-da-da. Oh, I want people to know I could preach. Da-da-da-da. And so people go to church for different reasons. Some go because they're broken. They're looking for help. Some go just to get out of the house. Some go because they're terrified that if they don't go to church, God's going to punish them. So they go to church out of fear, out of obligation. Some people go to church because they get paid at church. They're paid musicians. They're a paid singer or entertainer. And so they're part of the church team. You don't know why people go to church. You just know people go to church. But they have different reasons why they go. You don't understand why people go to college. People have different reasons why they go to school. Some people don't go to school to learn. Some people go to school to hang out. Some people go to school just to sell dope. Some people go to school just because they're frat parties. Just because they want to hang out, get drunk, smoke, and have sex and all the other crazy shit. Some people go to school because they get paid to be in school. Some people go to college just because they play a sport or they're involved in a sport. Some people go because they're academics. Man, they want to study. People do things for different reasons. And the problem with the great majority of us, we want to put everybody in under one umbrella. And say that all the people that go to school are here for this reason. Everybody that joined the Masons or the Freemasons joined for the same reason. Some people joined Freemasons, man, because they had nothing else to do. They wanted the political connections. They wanted job opportunities and connections in business. Some people joined Freemasons, man, they wanted brothers to hang out with. People join things for different reasons. That doesn't mean that the thing itself is bad, because ignorant people join the organization. It don't matter what sorority, what fraternity you look at. You have people that have joined for different reasons. It don't matter what group you look at, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. People join for different reasons. Whether you talk about the military, people join the military for different reasons. Some people join the military. I was part of the military, the Air Force. Some people join the military just to get out of the house. Some people join the military to travel. Some people join the military just to go to college. Some people join the military, man, because they want to make it a career. There's different reasons why people do things. Got to get that cleared up. So there's different reasons why people join Masonry, why guys join the Freemasonry. Everybody don't have a pure intent. Everybody ain't looking to do the right thing. Everybody that's gone to college don't use their education. Everybody that's gone to grad school didn't graduate. Everybody go to church ain't saved. Everybody that go to church ain't a Christian. Why am I talking about that? Because yes, there have been some Masonic guys that have gone out and done wild things. That doesn't mean that all Masons are that way. There's been some Masons that have gone out and said some crazy bullshit. That doesn't mean that that's true for the whole organization. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. And so what Masonry does and what Masonry teaches is poems and stories and lessons. Just the great majority of the people don't catch it. Let's go back to Solomon's Temple. Solomon's Temple is constructed of 3 parts: the outer court, the inner court, and the Holy of Holies. What's that got to do with being a man? Good question. The outer court. Anybody and everybody could come. You didn't even have to be a Jew to be able to hang out at the outer court. You didn't even have to be religious to hang out at the outer court. That's where all the people came. I'm going somewhere, stay with me. Everybody hung out at the outer court. The priests came into the inner court. But only the high priest could go into the Holy of Holies. The Holy of Holies is where they say the presence of God was at. The Holy of Holies is where the Ark of the Covenant was kept. The Holy of Holies, only the high priest could go into the Holy of Holies. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. And so, but in order for the high priest to go into the Holy of Holies, they would tie a rope around his waist. Because if he walked into the Holy of Holies and he was unpure, if he wasn't righteous, see, because you can't look at somebody and see whether they're righteous. You can't look at somebody and determine whether or not they have pure intent, whether their heart is pure. You can't look at people and see that. And so the priest would tie a rope around the high priest. And as the high priest walked into the Holy of Holies, if he wasn't pure, his motives were wrong, if his frequency was off, if he was on the wrong vibration, he would drop dead. The priests weren't allowed in there. So what they would do is when they heard the drop and he didn't come back out, they would pull on the rope and pull him out. Why is that significant? Because I've talked to you guys about the 3 brains. The ego brain. I've talked to you guys about the heart brain, the soul brain, the gut brain. When you look at the 3 brains and you look at what they represent, because they represent, or you look at the temple of Solomon, what it represents the 3 brains. The great majority of the people in the world hang out up here in their ego brain. The great majority of the people function and operate and live in their ego brain. They haven't done the work. They haven't set themselves apart. They haven't purified themselves. They haven't gotten on the right frequency to be able to go down within to their heart brain. And they haven't done the work to be elevated to the high priest, to go down into the gut brain, the soul brain, the holy of holies, where your spirit dwells, where God talks to you. These are all Masonic teachings. Roll, roll, roll your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Masonic teachings. The Wizard of Oz. Masonic teaching. Moby Dick. Masonic teachings. There are so many things that we don't understand, that we're completely ignorant of. We think we know what we're talking about. We have no clue. And we take that limited knowledge and we run with it, and we find everybody else that's on that same low vibrating frequency saying the same toxic ass bullshit that we're talking about. And we think that's the gospel. We think that's true. When it's superficial at best. You haven't done the work to dive deep. You haven't done the work to be able to understand the deeper teachings of it, to understand what it's really saying. Anybody that knows history, anybody that studied ancient history knows that the Africans, the Chinese, the Native Americans, all these cultures passed knowledge and stories along. But in those stories was deep, profound wisdom. It wasn't about the story. It was about the messages hidden in the story. If you know the Underground Railroad, slavery, you know that there are deep messages in the songs, the spiritual songs. They wasn't just talking about Jesus and God. They were telling you how to escape, how to get away, how to find freedom, where the traps were at, where the swamps and everything was at. There was messages, hidden messages in the songs, in the spiritual songs. We don't understand that. Because we won't do the work. Because the great majority of us, we have this entitlement mentality. We think people should just give us this knowledge and this wisdom, this understanding, and I ain't got to work for it. We got this mentality. Well, if you want to help people, then just pour out all that knowledge. Just pour out all that information. You ain't done the fucking work to get that information. Just like in school. If you don't do the work, you can't get the diploma. If you don't do the work, if you don't invest your time and your energy to seek the knowledge and the wisdom that you want, you're never going to get it. We have to grow the fuck up. We have to understand that every one of us is supposed to be a Freemason, creating a better version of us. What are you building? And so many of us, we're like all the people in the outer court, hanging out, slanging goats, slanging all this other shit. Why? Because we won't do the fucking work. And then we get mad and jealous at the people that have done the work, that can go deeper. You got to learn to go deeper. You got to learn to dive deeper. You got to learn to separate yourself from the crowd. You got to dive deeper. You got to be responsible and accountable for your own growth and development. And so Freemasons, man, they were all about passing along knowledge. But they would pass along knowledge through stories, through poems, through movies, and all of the great entertainment. And that's where the great majority of us get stuck at. We get stuck on the Wizard of Oz. Oh, this is such a great story. Man, this is a classic. I love this story. Oh, Moby Dick was a classic. I love that book and da. But we forget because we get caught up in the drama. We get caught up in the drama of Dorothy trying to find her way back home. And you completely miss the nuggets. You completely miss the lesson because we're caught up in the drama. We're caught up in the colors and the flying monkeys and all this other stuff. And so we don't take a deeper look. Same thing with the Bible. The Bible is full of symbolisms, full of allegories. But we want to take everything literal. We never want to dive deep. We never want to really just dissect it and break it down. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. We've said that thousands of times and have never taken the time to break it down. Never taken the time to try to understand its deeper meaning. Because we're superficial, we automatically assume everything else is superficial. Because we're ignorant, we automatically assume this is on my level. Not understanding that there's deep messages if you're willing to put in the work. Same thing, you could read the Bible, you could read the Quran and all these other books. And every time you read it, it's like, dang, I got something different out of it this time. Man, I've read the same scripture 100 times, but this time, man, it just hit me a little different. This time I got a totally different message, a deeper message out of it. Man, I've seen this movie so many times, but every time I see it, man, something else pops out to me. I didn't see that the first time. I didn't understand that the first time. I didn't catch that knowledge, that wisdom the first time. That's why you could take 100 people and show them a picture. And the great majority of them will see something totally different. Everybody will see something different. Everybody will pick out something different. Everybody will understand something different. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. What are you constructing? What are you constructing? Are you busy constructing a career? Are you busy constructing a family? Are you busy constructing a legacy of getting lit and getting drunk and getting high and fighting and wilding the fuck out? What's your legacy going to be? What is your legacy so far? Every one of us is going to leave behind a legacy. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. What is your legacy going to be? Are you passing along knowledge and wisdom and understanding? Are you helping others heal and grow and reach their full potential? Are you showing others how to do these things? What is your legacy going to be? What are you constructing? Don't be so excited that you just went to the temple. Don't be so excited that you're gathered at the temple and you're hanging out with all the people. Don't be one of them people. We have too many of them on the planet as it is. Man, I'm at the temple and I'm just so excited. And we're just gossiping and hanging out and looking at somebody who we want to hook up with and trying to get connections for this business opportunity and employment. And we're not doing the fucking work. We're not doing the work. We want other people to do the work. And then we want them to come back and tell us. We want them to do the work. Then we want them to come give us all the knowledge and wisdom and understanding that they've gained from doing the work. I'll say it again. We don't want to dive deep. We don't want to go into the inner chamber. We don't want to go into the Holy of Holies. We don't want to put in no kind of work. We just want to gather and expect and demand that you give us the knowledge and wisdom and understanding that you gained by doing your work. It is what it is. You got to grow up. You have to grow up. You're stuck in the matrix. You're stuck in the outer chamber. You're stuck at the wall on the outside. You talking about what's going on the inside. You have no freaking clue. You have no idea what it takes to be able to get to the heart brain. You have no idea what it takes to get to the soul brain, the gut brain, where God dwells. You think I could just sit here, and boom, it's done. I'm there. You think I could, dear Heavenly Father, I come to you, I'm bowed knees and humbled head and all this other bullshit, and boom, I'm there. You think you could pick up a fucking book and boom, I'm there. You can watch a video and boom, I'm there. It don't work like that. Life is a journey. It's not one fucking experience. It's a lifelong journey of multiple experiences on a daily fucking basis. I've been a Mason for 29 years. 29. I get people in their early 20s that's just hearing about Freemasonry. They ain't even got to 25 yet, 26 years old, and they trying to tell me how satanic it is and all this other stupid ass bullshit because they've heard some ignorant ass shit at the outer court, hanging out the outside of the temple with everybody else. They've heard some bullshit and now they're spewing it like they know it for fact. They've heard some stupid shit and now they're running off at the mouth like they know what the fuck they talking about. We have to grow up. Here's a little secret. A lot of the things that I talk about on this platform, growth and development, that's all we talk about for the most part. I've taken Masonic teachings, Masonic wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that I've gained, and just broke it down into common layman's terms to talk to you. So if you've been following this platform for a while, man, I've been teaching you Masonic teachings and you didn't even know it. I've been giving you Masonic teachings without saying that they were Masonic teachings, because they're life teachings. They're life lessons. They're life lessons. We have to grow up. We have to stop demonizing the things we don't understand. We have to humble ourselves and acknowledge the fact that I don't understand a whole lot of shit. And if you ain't putting in the work, your ego has you more fucked up than you think. We have to grow up. We have to humble ourselves. Man, I hope and pray that I said something to help you understand that, man, life ain't what you think it is. All the stuff that you watch and you listen to, understand there's deeper teachings behind so much. Learn to dive deep. Learn to get past all of the illusions. Learn to get past the story, the play, the drama, the chaos. Learn to understand, oh, this is a distraction over here. And that's the things about thrillers. They always throw out something to have you going this way and thinking this is going to happen, or this person did this, when it's really somebody over here. But this is just a great distraction to get you off the right path. Get you chasing this over here so you'll miss all of this over here. And that's what happens every day in life. This is what happens every day in life. We get distracted with the simple shit. We get distracted with the bullshit. And we miss the life lessons. We miss being on the right path. We get caught up chasing the money, caught up chasing a relationship, caught up chasing the education, caught up chasing any and everything, and we completely miss the purpose of the journey. And so many of us, we're not even on our right path. We're not even on our designated path. We done hooked up with other people and we done got on their path. We're chasing their purpose. We're trying to live their life. We have to grow up. What are you constructing? What are you constructing? So many of us are constructing superficial fucking lives. See, we look at the pyramid, and the pyramid looks like this great, big, giant thing construction site, right? And that's all we get caught up on, how big the pyramid is. And we completely miss the deeper meaning. We completely miss all the inner chambers and what each of those chambers represent. What was going on in these chambers? We get so caught up in how big the pyramid is. We get so caught up in who built the pyramid. We get so caught up on how did they get these stones so perfectly aligned? And they didn't have technology or computers back then. They didn't have cranes to pick these giant stones up. How did they do this? And we completely miss going deeper. We completely miss the purpose of it. I had the privilege to be in Egypt a few weeks ago and being able to go inside one of the pyramids. And again, when you look from the outside, unless you've studied it, you don't know that these chambers are there. You have no idea what the inner chambers are. There's a network of, per se, roads and paths within the pyramids. Not like driving roads, but where you can walk and go different places within the pyramid. Same as for life. We get so caught up on the exterior. We get so caught up on having muscles. We get so caught up on our wig and our fake eyelashes, our fake titties, and our muscles and all this other shit. We get so caught up on our bag and our cars and our houses and all this superficial shit that we totally forget about, or we ain't got the time to put the work in for our soul. And so we build this exterior up, and we're spiritually fucking weak. We have no fucking power. Because all of your energy, all your focus going to looking pretty. All your energy, all your focus going, and man, look at my ass and look at my titties and look at my pecs and I can make them dance and all this stupid shit. Look at my muscles and look at my cars and look at my houses and look at how much money I got. I can just throw money around and with the will, I can make the shit rain. Da, 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 da. We get so caught up on the superficial shit. That's what we build. We see people like that with all this money and all that, and we want to be like that. Not understanding they're all distractions. They're all distractions. Man, we got to grow up. We got to grow up. Man, I don't know how long I'm going to continue to making videos. I've made videos for 3 years now. But in my soul, in my spirit, I'm sensing that it's coming to an end. I won't continue to make these for a while. I don't know when that time is, but I'm coming to an end. My prayer is, man, I'm trying to get everything out that I can before that happens. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.